Selamat siang, Sheraton. I'm from Taylor's College, Subang Jaya. What do you think is the biggest flaw in the leadership of the founding father of Singapore, Mr. Lee Kwan Yew? And if Mr. Lee was our Prime Minister, do you think he can make Malaysia or Singapore? Thank you.
I think I put on my blog about Mr. Lee Kwan Yew and I. I have a very relationship which is not that of firm friends, but I know him, he knows me. He labeled me the Malay Ultra. Actually, I wasn't responsible for the riots in Singapore. Somebody else was, but I'm not a Malay Ultra. I'm a Malaysian Malay, that's all. Different from him. You see, he joined Malaysia hoping that he would become the Prime Minister of Malaysia because Singapore is too small. He wants to be Prime Minister of a big country. And the Tunku told him, please don't disturb the race relation in this country. But he came in saying that, you know, this is not Malaysia, only the Malays get everything, the Chinese get nothing, and all that, trying to play on racial issues, which is why Tunku had to expel him. And then he became very bitter about that. And his relation is colored by this feeling of bitterness. I tried to establish good relation with him. There were about 20 problems we had to resolve. None. I spent 22 years trying to resolve this problem. I could resolve none. He will not give even 1 inch. Kiasu, you know. You know, how can, you know, the Central Provident Fund gets contribution from Malaysians working in Singapore. Of course, when they stop working in Singapore, they're entitled to get their contribution back. But he made a distinction between Malaysians from the peninsula and Malaysians from Sabah and Sarawak. Those from Sabah and Sarawak can take back their money, but those from the peninsula cannot take their money. I said, this is not right. They are all citizens of our country. You must treat us as if we are one country, but no progress. Wanted to build a bridge. He said, he came and told me, he had to retire. He says, we'll have to wait until Goh Chok Tong is not around. Because he has this nostalgia for the causeway. So until now they can't agree. What's so wrong about replacing a causeway with a bridge? You know, a causeway blocks the water from flowing and all kinds of problems there. We build a nice bridge. So because he didn't want to build a bridge, I had to propose a bridge on our side of the causeway. And there are lots of problems like that. When we proposed an East Asia Economic Caucus or bloc, he was told by James Baker of America, don't support it, and he didn't support. So there are these kind of problems. I don't like to really, the man is already not around. But I think even Singaporeans are not very happy with him, the younger ones. Now, would some people say, well, Malaysia is not as prosperous as Singapore. Singapore has a per capita income of 54,000 US dollars. We have a per capita income of only 12,000. But look at the cost of living. It is 3 times higher in Singapore than in Malaysia. You have 54,000, yes, but the purchasing power of that 54,000 is not very much more than the purchasing power of 12,000 in Malaysia. That 12,000 in Malaysia can buy almost 24,000, 30,000 because of the price of things, despite the GTC, whatever. GTS. You know, despite that, the cost of living in Malaysia is cheaper. The cost of living in Singapore is not so cheap, it's very high. Why do you think Singaporeans are going to Iskandar to live there? It's because they think Malaysia is a better place than Singapore. You see? So this assessment of the achievement of Malaysia and Singapore is not quite bad. You know, I used to tell people what is important is not the per capita income. What is important is how much that income can purchase.